back to the channel, thanks for tuning in. And in today's video I'm going to be looking at the Soundpeats H2, and this is a recent release from Soundpeats coming out at the back end of 2021, and basically I've been waiting a couple of months to get my hands on these, and I'm really excited to bring you my opinion today. So finally got my hands on these, like I said. I'm going to be doing some quick comparisons as well with a couple of equivalent earbuds, but let's get this started. Let's get the box open here. So as you can see, we've got a bit of an upgraded box there from Soundpeats. Pretty similar once you get inside though. It's what we're all used to. Very, very basic, but it does the job. No complaints there. There we have them. So I'll come to that in a minute. See what else we've got inside the box. We've got the usual paperwork, and as you'd expect, we've got your Type-C charging case, and you've got your ear tips as well. So I will come to talk about the ear tips a little bit later, but these are quite familiar, and I'll explain why very shortly. So there you go, there's the unboxing. Let's get rid of all this now and look at the beauties themselves. So what we've got here is a H2 model. Some people have been asking questions about, you know, is this an upgrade from the H1? And the question is no, it's a different product altogether, really. So as you can see, we've got a shiny silver case. We've got 3 indicator lights on the front, and you open these up and you've got a very familiar design, stem style, not too long, sort of medium-sized stem style there. I'm not sure what I think about the colour, to be honest. It's certainly unique. It's not what I'd choose if I was going to choose a colour of earbuds. I prefer sort of matte black personally, but they're certainly unique, you can't argue with that. You've got an updated Soundpeats logo here with that sort of copper rose gold colour, which I quite like, and you've got your touch surfaces there as well. So unique design. Obviously shares a bit of a design with the H1, which also had some sort of silver accents on the buds and on the charging case as well. But for me, overall, this type of earbud always fits really well, so I'm happy with these in terms of the design. Talking about some of the key specifications in terms of these, so as I said at the start, you know, they're not really an upgrade to the H1, but they are sharing some similar specifications with the H1. So we've got Qualcomm 3040 chip on board again. We've got the hybrid dual driver setup again, and we've got aptX adaptive. So we've got some similar specs there, guys, to the H1, but all in all, it's a different product. In terms of battery life, we're losing quite a bit of battery life, unfortunately. So we're down to something like 20 hours in total, which is, you know, it's quite a major downgrade, unfortunately. We are looking at Bluetooth 5.2. We've still got the gaming mode, which is great. We've still got CVC 8.0 and 4 microphones. Now, as regards to the battery life, I'm not sure how much of an issue this is going to be for me. I'm not really someone who, I guess, needs a really big battery life. But for some people it'll be a deal breaker, because the H1s were really good when it came to battery life, something like 10 hours on the buds. So quite a big downgrade, and I suppose your question is why have they reduced it by so much? But when I get to the sound quality, I'm going to tell you why I think these guys are still worth it. So talked about the specs, touched on the comfort there, so really comfortable for me. I have switched out, as you can see there, to the SpinFit CP360s, and these are giving me a great seal, as these tips do with a lot of buds, but they work really well with stem style. if we just take a quick look at the buds the tips that are included, they're just not that great, to be honest. They're just not the best. As you can see there, they're quite shallow. Unfortunately for me, they're not giving me a great seal or a great fit. They're comfortable enough, but I can tell that the sound quality is not as good as it could be. If you just compare directly, you know, the difference between the CP360 and the sort of in-house one, they're just giving you that little bit more depth. And obviously, as we all know, with the CPs, you've got a greater material quality, and that's giving you a better seal. And the thing with the SpinFits, just to explain for those who don't already know, you've got this kind of little flexible joint there, which is going to essentially, you know, reflect the shape of your ear and give you that great seal. So recommend that if you've not tried them. You know, if you don't want to spend the extra money, then don't worry about it. As you can see, it's quite hard to get them on to the actual earbuds themselves. You've sort of got to give it a good, there we go, that's on. So yeah, don't worry if you've got to push that. Once it's in place, that ain't coming off. So yeah, don't really recommend the included tips, but like I said, give them a go. You know, have a play around to see which is the best for you, and consider picking up some of those 360s, because they do the job really well. So good comfort, good fit, and talking about the performance, so like I said, you're going to lose out on battery life, but these guys are really worth it when it comes to the sound quality, because these are an upgrade, in my opinion, on the H1s when it comes to sound quality. So you are getting deeper bass when compared to the H1s. You are still getting fantastic clear treble and highs, because you've got that dual driver arrangement. The mid-range is somewhere in the middle. It's not particularly pushed forward, but it's sounding good, and the overall mix, you know, is really satisfying. You've got a nice sound stage because you've got that dual driver setup. You've got that separation that you're going to get with those drivers on board, and for me, these are sounding better than the H1s. And I had an issue with the fit when it came to the H1s as well. So actually, all in all, despite the lack of, you know, decent battery life, although it's, you know, it's okay, but it is a reduction, I'm still enjoying these more than the H1s overall. The other thing that you're losing, guys, is going to be wireless charging. So we have got USB-C on the back, as you can see, but, you know, a bit disappointing, to be honest, that we are losing the wireless charging there, because that kind of, with the H1, completed that premium feel for me. But you know, what's happening with the market at the moment is that we're seeing a lot of really good products. None of them are quite the complete products, and I think, you know, manufacturers, particularly brands like Soundpeats, are having to make decisions, aren't they, on what to compromise on in order to give us, you know, in this case, that great sound quality. So all in all, they are really really good. In the UK, these are going for £55 at the moment, which is, for me, that's, you know, it's a cheaper option than the H1. I think over in the US, we're still looking at about $79 full price. Obviously, you can get deals all the time. What I did want to do is just bring in what I think is an interesting comparison. So obviously, we've talked about the H1. These guys are the T3, the Soundpeats T3, and I think this is a, you know, if you're looking for something similar to the H2 but don't want to quite spend the money, I think these guys are quite a good option. So you're getting quite a lot of what you're getting with the H2s on these T3s. I have done a full review of these if you want to check that out. But all in all, you're getting a very similar sound signature. As you can see, it's a similar style, it's a similar fit. I think the difference with the H2s, and obviously the difference in the price, is going to be the refinement when it comes to sound quality. So you're going to get a much better sound stage, you're going to get better separation, and the sort of the details in the sound is going to be on a different level to these guys, but these do really well considering they are under 50. You're actually getting active noise cancellation with these as well, which I think is why they are an attractive option. Something to consider. Like you can see, it's a similar sort of, you know, size case overall, different shape, but essentially, you know, they're both fairly pocketable. All in all, something worth considering if you're in the market for a stem style design. Somewhere around 50. I think these are going for more like 40 these days with the coupons and the deals on Amazon. So that's pretty much going to wrap it up for the review on the Soundpeats H2. Just to summarise, I do think these are a really good pickup. I think these are probably my favourite sounding budget pair at the moment. The only competitors in sound quality for me at the moment are going to be the Liberty 3 Pro, and it's going to be these bad boys, and these are the Jabra Elite 75T, because these guys are bringing the bass just that little bit more than these guys. So in terms of sound signature, you know, your classic V shape on both of these, the Soundpeats are getting close, but these guys are still just about winning it. But obviously this is in a different sort of price range, but at the moment these two are my sort of, if you will, daily drivers. But all in all, these guys are definitely worth your consideration. Don't be too worried about the fact that these are called the H2. I think Soundpeats probably need to think about their branding and their naming, but don't get too caught up with that, because these are good products, great sound signature, and particularly if you're a bass head, I would recommend these for your pickup. Thanks again for watching, and now let's check out the call quality samples, the Soundpeats H2. This is a call quality test of the Soundpeats H2 in a quiet environment.